Good. All right, what is up, everybody? Man, it feels good to be back, Brad. I haven't done one of these in almost like 2 weeks.
Oh, okay. All right.
So,
Heck yeah.
well,
Well, I'm glad I'm the first back.
yeah, dude, listen, it's an abs. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's an absolute honor to sit down with my friend Brad Stokes,
Yeah.
Öhlins technician. I don't know why I want to keep saying it, but Öhlins suspension guy. You've been, with the company for a long time. Me and you, my friend, have a lot to talk about. So, I just want to jump into it. Where'd your journey begin on those two wheels, bro?
Yeah. Well, when I was really young, I got a little 50, and obviously my older brother, Brian Stokes, he was already racing. Yeah, that guy.
Who?
Yeah, he was racing like he's 7 years older than me. So, he was kind of already on his two wheels. And so, yeah, just like got a 50 riding, just enjoying life. And, early mornings when I was a kid, like, I don't know, 3, 4 years old, it was being put in the back of a cargo van in between two motorcycles on a little mattress. And we were, Sunday morning, we were headed to the racetrack. This is 5 a.m. And, I'd wake up and we would be at a racetrack for Brian to go race. So they take me out of the van and set me in the dirt with my little dirt bikes. And I would make little motocross tracks, honestly, because I was there. And, yeah, as I got a little older, they started letting me caution flag, out at particular corners. And, eventually they allowed me to, do the checkered and white flag, at the finish line. So, from a very young age, yeah, I've been going to the racetrack, like I said, kind of a byproduct of Brian racing. But yeah, I the from having little 60s to XR 100s. I remember that as kind of a teenager, and I even raced that thing. Bremen Motocross was about less than 10 minutes from where I grew up in Bremen, Georgia. And my mom, Brian, obviously raced out there. My mom did scoring, and I did flagging. So, and I even did a couple of races out there in the 80 beginner class on the XR 100.
How'd that go?
Not too well, but I was out there for the fun of it, right? So, no, but that XR 100, let me tell you, I beat the heck out of that thing forever. And I remember going to flat track school and learning how to flat track. And doing that, I came back and I got on that XR 100, and I had a field up from the house, and I was out there, trying to learn how to flat track. So, and I just fell in love with that. And, the road racing stuff, that all came along. Actually, Brian was raced motocross for years and years and years. And like 1988, 87, 88, he went to Ponca City, Oklahoma, and raced in the 80 class out there. And I remember doing that. And, fast forward over to the road racing, about 95. We went to Talladega, and Brian was intrigued by that and started doing that. And next thing you know, we're into this road race thing. So from there, I actually got my road race license in like 96. I've never actually used it. I did a lot of track days, but
you never raced.
Never raced a road race bike. No, and I've raced woods races. I've done mini moto, and here even recently I got a Mad Dog bike. I love doing flat track, so we got some local flat track tracks close by, and when they have races, I go down and run the Mad Dog class. So, but yeah, the road racing stuff. When Brian started with it, I was learning about it and everything else. And he quickly gains his expert license, and got
Brian who?
Brian Stokes.
I know, I'm just playing.
Yeah, no, I know. Yeah, he got his road race license, or excuse me, his expert license, and Arcolite Suzuki picked him up. And Arcolite Suzuki, I was actually a rear tire changer for those guys for a season. Done a couple of Daytona 200s with Brian.
Okay, so how did you start to work in the paddock? Like, how did you get that particular job for that season? Through Brian?
Through Brian, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we were always, I mean, you know, it was Dad and whoever would
Right.
help back then. So getting used to the mechanicking and what goes on at a road race track, and you know, the tire running and all the things. You know, I bounced in and out. Of course, I was still in high school. You know, I didn't graduate until '99. So, but they would take me to Daytona and things like that, and Wera races and all that stuff. So. I've always been around a racetrack like my whole life.
Love it, man.
It's in my blood, right?
I love it. Yeah, we actually got a couple comments coming in. The first one, of course, is the legend himself, Brad Stokes. If you guys missed the episode, please go back and listen to it. It's absolutely amazing. He says it's B-Rad, my bro. Yes, I know, yeah. Brian. I'm just messing with you. And then we got my man, Ryan Snyder. What is up, man? He said, let's go.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
And then Derek Sutton says, yes, sir, Brad.
Yep.
Love it.
So yeah, did that rear tire change. That's always fun. I always like doing rear tire changing, or any kind of pit stop stuff. The adrenaline when you do that is unbelievable. You know, for that 30 seconds or whatever it is to come over the wall and, you know, try to be perfect and nothing go wrong. It's fun.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
But yeah, so in the 90s, Brian was road racing. He was Wera, CCS, doing those type things. And I would help, and like I said, mechanic and this, that, and the other. And then 2003, Brian was working, he was contracted and working with Team Embry. So he was racing with them, and they got me as a mechanic. And when he went on with Team Embry, you know, it was AMA at that point. It was the real deal. So
the golden era of racing.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you know, Nicky was still there, and Gobert, and I mean, there were a bunch of big names that were still Miguel, and
Aaron Yates, Scott Russell, Ben Bostrom. Yeah,
I didn't even think about like '94. I remember going to Road Atlanta when the paddock was on the outside, you know, and looking at the Smoking Joe's Honda and Miguel Duhamel, and Luddington was even there as the crew chief, and I was like, whoa!
And Al's still in the paddock.
Yep. He was. Yeah, he's actually doing IMSA stuff now. Yep. He's doing IMSA stuff. So he was there last year, but yeah, old Uncle Al. Yep. It's I like to call him. Yeah. But yeah, when Brian did that, he was up for the Horizon Award that year in '03, and it was up at Mid Ohio, and I'll never forget the team had kind of run out of steam, run out of little, you know, budget and everything, and Brian. It was me and Brian. We were on our own. It's out of his little truck and trailer, right?
Love it.
And he went
grassroots racing.
Yeah. And I was the mechanic, he was the rider, and he went out there and he did good and won the Horizon Award. And you know, congratulations to him. That's super awesome. So
yes, it is.
But yeah, so into 2003, 2004, that started my journey into the Öhlins suspension thing. When I started here, I couldn't have told you what a rebound adjuster did, but during that season that we were Team Embry and I was on that, we were running Öhlins suspension, and so I would have to take the shocks and forks if they needed something over the trailer. So I got to know the guys over there. It was Steve Havness and Joey Israel, a couple other guys there, Steve Resmer, but they got to know him. And later in the year, Joey, he asked me if I would help him drive the truck out to California, the Laguna, from Hendersonville. And I I wasn't driving at that particular time the truck for Embry. So I jumped in the truck here in Hendersonville and jumped on I-40, and 2.5 days later, or 3 days later, we're at Laguna. But that was me, Joey Israel, and Jamie James.
Jamie James, dude,
Jamie
legend.
James.
Yes, sir.
When I started here, he was a contractor rider coach.
Yep.
And he would talk to the riders and try to translate what the rider was saying into what the technician could understand, right? So that was the thought process behind it. But it was really cool because I got to hang out with Jamie James and drive cross country and, have a good time.
That's right.
And driving 3 days to California, you got a lot to talk about. Right?
A whole lot to talk about, my friend.
Absolutely. So in amongst talking about things, I said, hey, if you guys ever have a job opening, it seems like a cool thing you do. Why don't you hit me up? And after the season was over in 03, I had a couple of offers from teams to come on as a mechanic. And one of them, Joey, called me up and said, hey, why don't you come up here, check out this suspension thing and see if it's a good fit for you. So right here at this very bench, 22 years ago, I had a pair of early 80s Husky shocks, and Joey took one apart in front of me and put it back together, and he hands me the other one and he says, now you do it. And he walked out of the room. And so somehow I managed to get it apart and back together. And I stayed up here. We did like this grace period of 2 weeks, see if this is what you want to do, see if we want you. And 22 years later, here I am, So, I guess it worked out for us both. I've had a nice career of doing racing and just doing what I love. Honestly, it's it's not necessarily glamorous. Sometimes it's not making me rich necessarily, but the fact that I get to get up and go do something that I love is kind of cool. So
it's priceless.
It is. It kind of offsets the other things, right? So
100%.
That started my journey with Öhlins. And of course, the first couple of years you're learning, right? You're soaking everything up. Like I said, I didn't know what a rebound adjuster did, so I'm soaking everything in. I actually got sent to the racetrack fairly quickly, just more as an observer, and try to learn what goes on at the racetrack. But as far as suspension's concerned. From there it was like full tilt boogie, and I started going. I was probably 2005. I started going to all the races, and we had a trailer back then, 2006, a 40-foot trailer, really nice trailer that we were working. I think it was 5 or 6 technicians out of, I did that for a number of years, working with various teams. Actually, I got some notes of some of the teams I worked with. I was going to grab those real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
The 2004 to 2006 was more of the learning. 2006, I actually had a chance to work with Matsushima Performance.
Really?
And Grant. And Danny Eslick was riding the bike at the time. So that kind of started my team stuff.
With Eslick? Oh my God. I bet you got stories on that.
I do. I was actually, now that we mention it, I was at the first road race he did after flat track. Because yes, I know him and his brother AJ, and the flat track stuff. I learned about them. And Danny in 2004 at Daytona, I'm pretty sure it was, for KWS, he was riding for, and he was a new rider, and then by 06, he was with Grant. And yes, Danny's a good friend of mine. I worked with him in and out throughout his whole career, whether it was on the side or, not necessarily contracted to whatever team he was riding for. But yeah, he's used me. I did work with him. It was 2014, I think it was, with the EBR, the 1190 RS. Um, so yeah, I got some stories about that too. You know, that was a neat venture. That was kind of the first big venture into a new bike, a production piece, and yeah, so kind of a cool thing. But yeah, so 2007 and 2008, I actually did work with Buell. At that particular time, Mike Fitzgerald, a lot of people know Thermos Man.
Yep.
He was the manager here. They had brought him on, and I learned a lot from him, you know, about how flow dynamics and how suspension works internally. I got the concepts to how to take it apart, put it back together, but knowing how it actually works, he was a huge help with all of that. So really enjoyed working with him while the times that he was here. And yeah, in 2009, I actually uh, Sweden was with Factory Cowie the year before in '08, and a guy named Peter, he was their contracted technician. Well, 2009, he didn't return. He didn't come back to the States. He was from Sweden, and he kind of asked me before he left. He was like, "Hey, we look over the guys, look over the Factory Cowie team. I don't necessarily had a contract, but look over them." So I did spend 2009 with Jamie Hacking and the Factory Cowie guys over there trying to develop the 600, you know. So and then from there, the 2011 to I don't know 12, 13. That was the EBR era. That was that 1190 RS, which was an interesting thing. Like I said, it's an interesting bike and an interesting bike to try to set up and make go around a racetrack. So you know, and of course they wanted to produce this bike as a production street bike. So through talks with them and working with them with the 1125, um, flying up there, having meetings, all the fun things. We signed a deal with them to supply 100 sets of forks, 100 shocks for that build, which I still see them pop up every now and again on Facebook or this, that, and the other, which is cool because all of those forks, I basically I got upper tubes, lower tubes, and a cartridge kit not made for that bike, and I altered the cartridge kit, the valving, to fit into a fork, and they actually produced their fork bottom, their own fork bottom, because of the radial brake system that they had on there. So I would put their fork bottom on upper and lower tube with a cartridge kit, and that became the front fork for that build, which all of those forks were built right here in this room, which is kind of cool. I still have pictures from it, you know, forks lined up, ready to be shipped. So definitely a cool thing, and running, and actually, you know, with that 1190 RS, Danny was the first one at Sonoma Raceway. I want to say it's 2012, 2013, to put it on the podium. It was Saturday's race, Superbike race. I actually had some cartridges. They were gas pressurized cartridge kits, express shipped from Sweden directly to Infineon Raceway, where I installed them on, at that time, it would have been Wednesday. And we practiced, and yeah, he put it on the box, third place on Saturday. And then Jeff May backed it up the next day with the podium, with the same bike. So, you know, it was really cool to be involved with that. Of course, it went to World Superbike after that. I didn't do anything past the Moto America stuff, but yeah, definitely a cool thing to be involved with and see how that works and goes through. And then honestly, from there, 20, I think it's 2015, Yoshimura, they contacted us and they wanted a technician, and asked if I wanted to do that role. And I said, "Whoa, this is big. You know, this is the big time. They're a pinnacle in the paddock. You know." So I got on with them, Jake Lewis, Roger Hayden, I'll never forget Roger coming up to me at the first test, and he's like, I hope you're good. I kind of went to bat for you. I've talked to a bunch of people around the paddock, and I had a nice go with those guys up until the end of 2018, start of 2019. It was a great group to work with. I enjoyed every minute of it. It was obviously stressful. I mean, when you get to the big teams, they expect you to be on point. When you have to change a spring on pit lane during a session, you got to hand the shock back, and it's got to be correct, because if it's not, the data guy could see it. And so with that kind of pressure, it it was a lot. And 2016, Jake got hurt. I think he was motocross racing, unfortunately, and they brought on Tony Elias.
Yep.
Yeah, and 17, we got that new superbike out of Japan, and Tony went and won the championship with it, which was a really, really cool thing. That's kind of in my world, that's kind of the pinnacle. You want to go win a superbike championship, and to do it as their contracted technician. I remember at New Jersey when we won, and they actually, it was kind of cool. I still have the video of it, but they let me go up on the podium and accept the team award, which normally they wouldn't let a suspension guy. I'm just a contract guy, but they know I had put a lot of effort into giving them what they needed to make that happen. So that was really cool. To be able to go up there and hold a trophy up, and then I remember coming down, and I took it to Don, and I said, here, and he goes, no, that's yours. And so I still have that trophy sitting in my living room. I had Tony sign it, and Roger too. I'm sure Roger didn't necessarily maybe want to sign the winning trophy. He didn't win, but he was part of the team, right?
Yeah.
So it meant a lot to me. But I remember after that, I went behind the O's truck and I started crying. And I was like, man, where do I go from here? You know what I mean? Where do I go from here? You can only win another championship. And so we did 2017, won the championship. 2018, didn't have such a good go at it. And that's when the pressure of everything, that at that particular time from 2011 to 2019, not only was I, doing all these things, helping these teams, I was in charge of the trailer for Öhlins. I was in charge of getting everything to the track. I was in charge of the people on the trailer, the contract people. Oh, and by the way, when you come back, you need to go in the shop and do all the customer stuff. So, playing multiple roles. And kind of getting not pressure, but like being away from the family was very difficult. And I was bringing work home, which didn't need to happen. And that's 2019. I decided I remember I did a test. It was December, I think it was, and I got back to Asheville Airport here, and I'm sitting in my truck, and I called my boss. I said, hey, I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to be on the road. I can't do it anymore. And he's like, all right, hey, no problem. He's like, we'll figure something out. So I did spend a good bit of 19 on going to the races. I was on the truck as just a truck guy. That's all I had to do. I didn't have any pressure from the outside stuff, right? Just take care of the customers. And so I did that, and after 2020, kind of turned the keys over, so to speak, to Scotty and Megan and Mike, and they took it over from there, and they've done a wonderful job with elevating everything in there to a point now where we're working. I think it's 8 technicians currently, or 9 at the track, which is huge. I mean, support is huge. That's one thing that I've learned in that paddock is the only way that people are going to run your product and be happy with it is if you're there to support it. You have to be. So just being in the paddock, and not to mention, like, we talked about it. I think there's 4 or 5 of us. If you combine all the years of experience, we've got like over 100 years of experience on the trailer with everybody and their knowledge of suspension. So, hey, look, I'm human. I learn every day, and sometimes having multiple heads, you turn around, hey, what do you think about this, or hey, how you think I should go about that? Is a huge thing, and to know that they're knowledgeable, and gonna think it through methodically with you is huge.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, no, 110%. It's man, you've been through the whole spectrum of our beautiful circus is what I call it, starting from
Yes,
the golden era to the DMG days, right?
yes,
All
yes.
now we're into our beautiful circus, which is Moto America,
Uh-huh.
which have done an absolutely amazing job.
Yeah.
I know there's many stories you can share of all these beautiful riders you've been such legends of you've worked with too as well.
Hmm.
It's it and let me ask you this, what's your favorite aspect of your job?
um I would have to say, making the rider faster. And when I'm at the racetrack, trying to give the fans the best experience that they can have, so that the little kid up to the dad comes back to the track, because without the fans being at the track, we have no show, we have no circus, right? And I've been a part
100%.
of the circus for a long time, so um, that's huge for me. I mean, with my job, I've got a lot of aspects of things that I've got to be aware of. Whether I tell people, if I forget to tighten a shaft nut or something like that, something comes apart, somebody gets hurt. So you have a huge responsibility as a technician to make sure that the product that you hand back to a team is buttoned up and as it should be. And I do make mistakes, but owning the mistake and making the mistake right, I think is just the right thing to do, and what I try to do every time. Um, I even this past weekend at Road Atlanta had a situation where I wasn't sure, but it wore enough on me that I needed to go back and follow up and make sure. And luckily, it was all right. But I you just have that. I have to. You know what I mean? I have to make sure it's right.
It's your responsibility.
It is. It is. And so yeah, that
He said, so yeah, and
yeah,
here we are in
here we
Road
are.
Atlanta in 2026.
Yeah, yeah. So
We're
even all these years later, still, things happen. Things happen.
Yeah.
Just make them right. So
Yeah, absolutely. And it's a testament to how much you love the sport, the beautiful circus too, as well. And with you saying what you said earlier, also big shout out to all the corner marshal workers, all you
yes,
guys and girls that do that. Because again, without you, we wouldn't be there having fun either, right?
yeah.
So
And those
yeah,
those people stand out in the sun, and it's hot, and I'm sure in a lot of cases maybe they don't want to be there, or the rain, and but they do it because they love it, right? And they want to be a part of the show too. And yeah, you're absolutely right. It's everybody from the corner workers to one of my big things in the Road Atlanta, it's a home track for me, but those guys that sit at the gate that make sure that the knuckleheads don't come into the hot pit and check passes,
yeah,
those guys, there's one guy that was close to the trailer that he's been there for years. And every year I take him a hat over, and, I go over there and talk to him. The head of security, Frank, we've known him for years. And, as soon as I went over, I'm like, hey, where's Frank at? And he'll be down. He'll be down. And sure enough, Frank comes down, says hello. He knows my dad. Got up with my dad. He was there Saturday and Sunday. So everybody that works at the track, all the way up to the Cameron Bobiers and the Josh Hayeses that, are out on the track, everybody is a part of it, and they need to be appreciated.
100%,
It's
110%.
it's funny in the suspension world. A lot of times you don't get recognition for the stuff you did. And I mean, people do, but you know what I mean. A lot of times it's kind of a unseen thing.
Yeah.
But I have had riders that have sent me stuff after the season, thanking me, things like that, which is always nice. You, like I said, with doing this and being passionate about it, um, you want results, and the recognition if you do a good job, right? So, this year, I took that break in 2020, and about 2003, right after COVID, Mike Himmelsbach, the race manager, he asked me, he said, "Hey, can you come to Daytona and Atlanta and Barber, the first three, because we're usually busy and we could use you and what you can bring to the table." And I was, sure. So I did that all the way up to this year, and this year, I have a full contract doing the full season. Going to be with Liberty Street Yamaha all season, and Dominique Doyle. And
I was going to say, my boy Dominique, let's go, Chuck.
yeah,
Yes, let's go.
awesome. I'm super excited. I didn't know what to expect. A little nervous. I've been off the bike for a little while, and get back on the bike and learning how to pedal and do all the things, and I knew it would come quickly. But no, after Daytona and Atlanta of working, with the team, learning the team dynamic, it's huge. I think we're in a pretty good spot to try to, move Dominique forward and get him to the front and fighting for wins. So we just gotta keep at it, and just like keep at it. Like, don't give up. Don't get stagnant. That's the worst thing you can do is get stagnant. And even if you fall back a little bit, keep working forward. So
100%, man. Just speak on Dominique. I've always been a huge fan. It's an honor to be able to call Dominique a friend every time. It's funny. When I was in Atlanta during the autograph session, I ran up to him. I was like, "Oh my God, it's Dominique Doyle!" Right, like screaming. It's like, "Can I get a signed poster?" Which, by the way, Dominique, I do have it out there. I'm going to rearrange some of this because this poster is going to go up right here. But yes, had to watch him. I did some announcing at Azra at Daytona in October. He was out there, doing a bunch of testing on the R9, him and Chuck and everybody. So, yeah, I mean, he's got great people behind him. He's got a proper mega team. And of course, with you in the corner doing all the suspension tuning, man, it's a winning combination. I often say that when it comes to racing, it's all the puzzle pieces got to come together in order for you to be able to do what you do out there on the track. You can have all the talent in the world, but if none of the puzzle pieces are there, it's never going to happen, right?
No, for sure. You're absolutely correct. And I've watched it, all the way from Dad being the crew chief mechanic up to a full blown team. And yes, you have to have the correct personnel in the correct spot to make a winning, successful team. It's not all about the rider. I mean, not to be not rude, but you know what I mean? Like the rider is a huge part of it, but like having those people, whether it's a suspension or a data or a chassis mechanic or a crew chief is obviously huge. Somebody that's smart enough to make the right decisions, and having that team. That's what I always like to say. Even with running the road race trailer, one of my big things when I started being able to add more people on because we were getting more contracts and things, was making sure that I had a good team and that we all got along and we all helped each other. And I feel like I did a pretty good job of that. We had a team that lasted, quite a while. I think it was 5, 6, 7 years before kind of the new regime came in, and like I said, they've done a fantastic job, and I'm happy to still be a part of that. And even when I decided to step back, and some things changed, Himmelsbach became the racing manager, and he was always, "Hey, when you want to come back, you got a spot," right? So I knew I was going to be back at some point. It was just a matter of going to raise that family. I had 3 kids. It was hard being on the road, and I can remember times standing in the Yoast trailer with my phone sitting there in front of me watching my son's baseball game on FaceTime. Yeah. After, like I said, all the pressure that was coming along with it. And one day my wife says, what are we doing here? And I'm like, I don't have a good answer for that right now. But in that was the Lord telling me, hey, you need to look at your family. This racing thing will always be there, right? And that's when he put it in my mind that, hey, when you're on your deathbed, these people at the racetrack, they love you and you love them, but they're not going to be standing there beside you. And the people that are going to be standing there beside you are your kids and your wife and your brother and people like that. So I needed to focus a little more on them and, grow up a little more. Even though I was older, I needed to hey, this racing thing is not the end all, the end all. Even though I love it, don't get me wrong. Like I said, I wouldn't be back and doing all of this, but I needed some time to reflect on family and myself. And after doing that, here I am back. I knew I would be. My kids are now 21, 17, and 10. So it's a little bit easier when dad has to leave and things like that. And the boys can help out with my daughter. And so a different spot in my life now. And one, I'm happy to be back, and I'm happy to be back with the team that I'm with. So he's learning, I'm learning, everybody's learning, and it's beautiful.
It is. And again, you have the right rider. Dominic's got all the talent in the world to make it as far as he wants to go in this sport. And like I said, with people like you behind him, this season's absolutely going to be a proper mega season for you guys. I want to get to a couple more of these comments, but before I ask you my next question, of course, we got my buddy K-Tech Birch. What is up, man? He says, the man, great mentor right there, right? Talking about Jamie James. Yes, dude.
Thank you,
absolutely.
Thank you, Birch.
And of course, we got my man Roger. He says, yo, guys, great seeing both of you in Atlanta. Roger, it's always good to see you.
Absolutely.
Absolutely, 100%. And then he says, of course, Brad's an absolute legend. Yes, he is.
Well, appreciate that.
And of course, right behind that, we have a legend in the house, Dominic Doyle. Brad's the man. Yes, he is.
That's my guy.
Yes, he is.
Heck yeah, that's awesome.
Yes. And John Faddock, what's up, man? He says, B-Rad taught me arms up and designated the Stokesville track across the street.
Yes. I used to live across the street. He actually owns the local airport, and he's the author or does the Asheville Sport Riders. And yes, my cousin was working over there, and he's like, hey, we kind of got him into riding, and he let me build this just spectacular TT track out in between two runways. So you had an asphalt runway and a grass runway, and in the middle, I got an aerial shot of it. He went up, took a picture, and it was just a hoot. Saturdays and Sundays over there, just ripping CRF 150s and KLX 110s. And yes, I did, with that flat track school, that American Super Camp I went to. Yes, you were taught, and Brian knows from the David Bailey motocross school that he went to, that yes, elbows up and keep the bike where you can move it. And even as slow as I am, I mean, let me tell you, it makes a difference. So
absolutely. Proper body position. That's
it is.
That's exactly what it's called, right? It's everything, right? It's funny. Me and my buddy got in a conversation just a little bit off topic, talking about how to slow motorcycles down. One thing I've been saying is I feel like we're outgrowing our racetracks, right? So how do we slow it down? My answer is it's simple, right? Make shittier tires. Simple. Problem solved. I mean, that's it. Problem solved. Make shittier tires where you can't go as fast. Guess what? The speed is down. Now everything's safe again. What's up, my man?
What's up, dude?
I'm on a podcast. What's happening?
Ow.
Brad, did you meet my son there at Atlanta?
I don't know. I think it was just you over at the podium.
Yeah, well, he's trust me, you can't miss him when he runs
where'd your case
around.
go, fool?
Dude, I got my case over
Calling
there,
4K
fool.
with no case. Blast him.
Bro, listen, this happens all the time. But speaking of family, yes, this right here is absolutely my everything. Trust me, I get it, man. I get it. That's why I take him as many races as I can, and we spend all our time together. I mean, I'll go, and instead of going out there watch TV's in there, if he's playing Fortnite on his thing, I'll go in there and lay in his bed and watch TV in his room on his TV just because I'm there and present, right? right?
You have a
Whether he's
one-to-one
doing something
replica.
and
Yeah.
I'm doing something. What, Bubba?
Did you realize that he sent you the exact same helmet you have?
Yeah, I did.
Bro, hold up.
I did.
I gotta show everyone. So look, this is his free helmet that the 11 people at Kubota gifted him. We're very thankful. So is he. And look, they sent us this like a couple months ago. They sent us like 4 super exclusive little helmets. And look, we got the same one.
Yeah, it's
The
the same
mini.
thing. That's cool.
Oh, I don't know why I left that on.
You're good.
Look, bro, we got the same helmet, bro. It's tough.
Heck yeah, that's awesome.
And we got 4 more. I'll show you them.
Bro, he's all into it, right? He loves
So
going
this
to the
helmet
track.
is so dope. Like, I'm not
Yep.
gonna draw. This is tough.
Yeah, it's so my buddy Scott Holbrook, big shout out to him in Kubota, which we'll give all the shout outs at the end, but I'll tell you the story behind all that.
Hold on.
You want to show him the helmet? Do you want to put on the headset real quick?
No, I wanted to show.
He said no.
So here's the one-to-one. You can hit the mini bicycle.
Yeah, I know.
So first of all, my favorite one is this one.
that's Remy Gardner's.
Yeah, there you go.
This
Nice.
is mine.
Yeah.
We got this one.
Yeah, it's Swan Mears.
And we got this one.
Yeah,
This one's also my second. This one's
Yeah,
my second
that's it.
favorite. And my third.
love it.
This is my third
I
favorite.
like all those. That's
And
really
my-
cool.
My second, and then this is the. I don't like this one a lot.
You don't like that one?
I don't like the colorway on it.
Okay.
No.
Well, at least he's honest, right?
I mean, at least.
I don't like the colors on it. Like that green with that gray and black, and not go good.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, it's
But this one's tough because like
yeah, it's the same. Yeah,
Tough.
it's the same.
leave
Yeah.
that right there.
All right. I appreciate it, buddy. Thank you.
No, you know what you should do that? I'm gonna build you a Lego stand. So
You're gonna build me a Lego
Yeah,
stand?
so I'm gonna put it inside the helmet, so then I can put this helmet in there, and you could leave the visor open, and this will be inside of it. They got that
Cool.
big brain ideas right there, buddy.
High five, buddy.
Got that big brain
All
energy.
right. Don't forget you got to make Kayla's butterfly knife.
Yeah, I know. That's in
All right.
like a couple months.
Oh no, that's next month.
Well, I'll get to it then.
All right, you go get to it.
Well, not today.
Well, not
Feel
today.
Like it. I do not feel like it, bro.
Okay.
I do not feel like pulling out 20 bajillion Legos and trying to build a line.
It's hilarious. Yeah. So anyway, Rossi, he obviously he's got a lot to say on this one today.
Yeah.
I bet y'all didn't get a Road America rock, bro.
Yeah. So he got this rocket Road America. He's like, look what I got, Daddy. This is just for you. So he wrote RA on it and
Heck yeah.
put the
Been there many a times.
Yeah. I love Road.
Memories.
It's awesome. Road America. It is. I mean, Road Atlanta.
I
Road
like
America is
Road
beautiful.
Oh,
America.
excuse
I
me.
like Road
Yeah.
America. It's my favorite.
Both are beautiful tracks.
They
I love
are.
Atlanta, but
They are absolutely they are. So I want to get back to so John Faddock. That's who we were talking about. So
All
John,
right, bye. I'm
we
going back
actually
to the
bye,
couch.
buddy. I love you. I'll
Love
see you
you.
after this. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Big hug. All right. Yes. Thank you. You're choking me.
No.
But John Faddock, right? He reached out to me. So big shout out.
yeah,
to John.
yeah. No, we actually got him into riding, and that's when he started the Asheville Sport Riders, and he started doing track days, and I mean, yeah. So we kind of he's a flight instructor and got into the motorcycling, and now he's a lifetime motorcycle rider.
I love it. Yeah, he invites me out there to his little Asheville bike night. One night, dude. I
Mhm.
promise you, one weekend I'll make it out there.
Yeah,
For
absolutely.
sure. And of course, we got my man Dustin in the house. He says, Brad, audible man right there. Great people. Yes,
Thank
he
you.
is.
Appreciate
Yes,
that,
he
yeah.
is. Yeah. Thanks, Dustin. Actually hooked me up with his M4 shirt.
Yeah,
right there.
see
So
that.
thank you.
Yeah.
It fits me perfect too. And then Roger says, I can't thank you enough for the help you gave Shane and I here and there when you have the time. Even the small, do this, don't do that. Here's why. That kind of information is priceless.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Shane Maggs, I love that guy. He's a good dude. And I'm always happy to help anybody, that's running the product and anybody that I like. I mean, there's very few people that I've run into that I don't help, and I try to explain it so they understand it. And, that's one of my roles here at Öhlins is I do all the training for motorcycle and auto and even some mountain bike from time to time. But yeah, just explaining things so people understand it, So knowledge is power, right? So
100%. Yeah. 110%. And then we got Matt. Matt Hickens says, best 15 years of my life with that guy right there in that shop. Best friend and mentor I've ever had. Love you, B-Rad. Love Squirrel.
Yeah. Old Matthew Hickson. He was here for a long time. And he started as a young kid. I think he was 17, 18 over in the warehouse. And he's like, hey, I want to learn about this stuff. And he would come down and after hours, and I would teach him stuff. And then before you know it, I think it's 2007, 2008 or so, he came on the road with us and had a good run, and was really smart. And I hate that he had to go on, but I understand why. You know, he had bigger and better things to do, let's say. And he's doing wonderful now, and building pools, helping with a company out of South Carolina doing pool stuff. And he's married now, and we all grow up, right? We all grow up, get married. So no, we don't grow up. We're still kids at heart, but yes, we do get married, and we have little mini me's running around, right? But no, we do not grow up. We're still young at heart. I know I still think I'm young all the time, right? That's what keeps me who I am today, right? You got to stay young. Got to stay young. Absolutely.
And then we got, of course, the legend himself, Steve Grigg. What is up, my man? He says, I see you have a rock star with you today. Yes, I do.
Appreciate that.
Yes, I do. And then John says, yes, it's all your fault and Jeremy's fault.
Yeah, Jeremy was my cousin. And me and him, he was the aircraft mechanic over there. And I would go over there and hang out in the hangar and watch him work, because it intrigued me about the airplanes, and how all of that worked. So to be able to go behind the scenes of that as a mechanic was super cool.
Oh, yeah.
And yes, in amongst that, the motorcycles came out.
110%. Somebody wants to know, and you probably already know who this is. Brian says, ask Brad about shooting a hole in the front door.
Oh, Lord.
Let's go.
That was all you, Brian. Yeah, Brian, he wants to blame it on me. I just remember as a young kid, mom didn't get home till 5 o'clock, and we got home from school at 3 o'clock. And Brian and one of his buddies thought that they were going to go out in the woods beside the house and shoot squirrels. And so they went and got the 22. And as they're coming out to go outside to shoot, I guess he had it loaded. And he put a hole through the front door, and then proceeded to go get some Bondo or something to try to patch it up and paint it. Of course, when Mom came up the front steps, she's like, what the heck is this? And that story didn't come out until years later. And he tried to put it on me, but I was too young. I was too young to do that. So that was him and his buddies.
Brian would never do such a thing, blame you for anything.
No,
come on, Brad,
right?
What are you talking about?
Oh my God. Yeah.
You were the blame for everything because you were the young one.
Exactly.
Brad did it. I know, dude. So my brother's 8 years younger than me. Trust me, dude. I was in Brian's shoes, bro. Nick did it. No, you did it. You're the older one. You should have stopped him. I can't watch him 24 hours a day. What are you talking about? Right? Yeah. No, he did it all. Right. I got it on my hands. What are you talking about? It's all him. I was trying to clean up the mess.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. It's hilarious. Yeah. It's but growing up having a brother, that races, but you being on the other side of it, doing the mechanicking and all that. It's it's I always say it's one of the most beautiful journeys you're going to have in life, because not very many people get to share that journey together.
Absolutely. Yeah. With my dad and my mom and everybody, they've always kind of been involved, especially when Brian was racing, and they've always had my back when I started doing all this stuff. And as a kid out of high school, I was enrolled in a college for, I think it's electrical engineering or something, and it came first day, and I'm like, man, that's not what I want to do. And there again, I mean, honestly, God's led me to this. I was at that time and living in Bremen, and my friends were getting into some bad stuff, and I was like, man, I gotta get away from here, got to get out of here. And this opportunity came up, and because of the Lord, and I came up here, and like I said, I'm still here. So that was His plan, and I'm still staying the course with that.
I do. I love it, man. So let me ask you this, man. Run us through a typical weekend of what you do today, like in Atlanta. Right? Run us through your typical Atlanta weekend.
Yeah, so we get into town usually Wednesday. Obviously, setup days Thursday. We can usually get the trailer set on Wednesday evening, early Thursday morning, meaning in the spot that we're supposed to be. And then from there, it's full tilt boogie to get set up. A lot of times we come in early simply because when the teams get unloaded, one of the first things they do is want to pull off stuff and stuff changed. We got to get ready for this racetrack, and so springs or valving or whatever the case may be. So yeah, we get set up on Thursday morning. When the other teams get in, they get set up. We're set up and ready to go. And then Thursday is spent servicing, preparing any crash damage from the race before, anything like that. We're going to take care of on that Thursday and try to get it ready for the weekend. And then Friday morning, obviously practice starts, and then into qualifying. And from there, it's down on the hot pit whenever your contracted team has a session. If not, I typically bounce back over to the trailer. Hey guys, what's going on? Is there anything to be worked on? Because just because I'm contracted Dominique doesn't, in the Liberty Street Yamaha, doesn't mean that I don't work on other people's stuff. All the teams that don't have contracts, they still have to come over to our trailer. I did a bunch of stuff this past weekend for the Ducati team. Not Ray Hall, the main Ducati team, but heck. Warhorse, thank you. That's what I was trying to think of, the Warhorse team. Yeah, so doing changes for them, whether they're top out springs or valving or main springs or oil levels or all the things that we can change. Yeah, and then Saturday is kind of the same thing. As we start Thursday, it's really busy. Friday, pretty busy. Everybody's trying to figure it out, and changes for Saturday, the second qualifying Saturday morning. Maybe some smaller changes for the race Saturday afternoon, and then debriefs Saturday evening. Any changes, anything like that, we'll do for Sunday morning warm up. Hey, we want to try this, try that, and then do Sunday. And then, yeah, once the racing is done, the last race goes off, it's pack the circus back up and put it in the trailer and back home. Yep. So that's kind of a typical weekend for us.
Yeah. So are you only working with Dominique? Is he one of your main riders this year?
Yeah, I'm contracted to that team. So I will make sure that I'm at every outing on pit lane with him and the team, whether it's practice, qualifying. Then we'll go back to the pit. We'll debrief with him, the crew chief, come up with any plan for the next session. And then I'll go execute, have everything ready. And then we'll go out for the next session.
So when you go out there on hot pit, Brad, like what's the tools you normally carry with you? Do you normally carry front springs, rear springs, or did you just have a wrench?
No, there are particular tools. Anything that you can change in a hurry, which front fork springs can be changed in a hurry. Obviously, you're not going to change valving on pit lane, but yes, typical stuff. Your 3 mil Allen is key. That adjusts rear and front damping. Then you've got your 14 mil to adjust preload on the front, your 8 mil to adjust preload on the rear, two 24 millimeter wrenches to adjust ride height in the rear, and then the tools you need to make a spring change: cap tool, pull-up tool, 19. Yeah, I think that's it. I'd have to look at them. I got to lay them out and look at them to think through what I got to do. But yeah, no, you're definitely, and like when I was with Yosh, I had a whole cart, and it had springs, rear shock, front fork. It had shock stretchers. It had spring compressor. It had all the things for me to do anything like that. And you want to talk about pressure when Tony Elias comes in with 3 minutes to go in a qualifier and goes, "Hey, I want a front fork spring change." Okay, fine. So you had to get it done and get him back out so he could at least get one lap in. Oh yeah, yeah. I remember him doing that in New Jersey, and I'm like, "Are you kidding me? 3 minutes to go. You want a spring change?" But anyway, I got it done, and he went out, and I can't remember if he went any faster. Hopefully, he did.
Man, working with, let's say top tier teams such as Yost, Muzzy, Kawasaki, American Honda, HRC, blah blah blah, versus more family atmosphere team. It's
Hmm.
a lot less added pressure for
Correct.
sure, right? And a lot happier environment too, as well, I assume.
Yeah, yeah. I
Yeah,
mean, that's kind of it's definitely the field. This team that I'm working with this year, it's a family oriented team. Chuck is super family oriented, and that's what I love about it. Um, but yeah, just there's not all of that pressure of having. I mean, obviously we want to win, and Chuck
of
wants
course.
to win, and the people I'm sure that are backing it want to win, but they're realistic. Where it's like a Yosh, it's a machine. You know what I mean? That's what they do is win. And like the pressure to the mechanics, to the crew chiefs, to and it all trickles downhill, right? So I think yeah, it's definitely a different dynamic.
Yeah, 100%. Right. The energy is just a more pleasurable, greater type of energy, right?
Yeah, for sure.
100%. Yeah, and it makes you. It's just like riders, right? I tell when a rider don't have everybody around him to do everything, and all he has to do, or she, is focus on riding. Okay, if you don't have that ability, or are fortunate enough, or those puzzle pieces just hadn't fallen in place yet, where you
Hmm.
got to focus on taking your tires to Dunlop, and oh shit, I wonder if I put my tire stickers on, and did I change my suspension, right? That all takes away from the mindset of you going out there doing what
Oh,
you
for
need to do
sure.
on the track, right? So it makes it harder. I'm laughing because Brian and Jonathan Walker actually has something they want to say. So Brian says,
Oh
dude,
boy.
yeah, so the vodka and Kool-Aid,
No.
bro, vodka and Kool-Aid, we got to go there. Let's
No.
go.
That was all Brian and his buddy Lee Smith, and I'm gonna
Again, there
call.
we
Now
go.
I'm
It's all
calling
Brian's
names out
fault.
now.
Do it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I didn't know any better. They apparently, I mean, we didn't as a kid. Look, the alcohol wasn't in the house. Honestly, my mom and dad had a bottle of vodka, which was funny. I'm gonna call you out, Brian. They would get into it and then fill the darn thing back up with water because my mom and dad never really drank it. It was there
Yeah.
for whatever reason, right? So he would, yeah, they'd go in there and do that. Well, one day after school, here again, notice after school when mom wasn't home, this always happened. He poured about that much vodka and about that much grape Kool Aid, and they were in the kitchen, and they're and they're like, "Hey, yeah, I'll bet you dollar, $5 or whatever you won't take a drink of that." And of course, I kick it back, and I'm like, spit it all out. But yeah, that's the vodka Kool Aid story from Brian. Thanks, Brian. Appreciate that.
Oh man, I
I was
love
hoping that wouldn't come out.
Oh, I love it, dude. Keep them coming, Brian. Keep them coming. Yeah, dude, this is awesome. It's it's hey, it's part of being a younger brother versus having an older brother, right?
Oh, I totally understand. I'm looking through my pictures here to see if maybe quickly. I'm not going to spend too much time with it. If I can find the picture that he made me do when he was in photography class in high school, when I was about 7 years old, he made me stand out back in my members only jacket and shoot a bird for the camera. And yeah, we still have that picture floating around somewhere. I think it might actually be on my Facebook page.
I love it, dude. I love it. And then, of course, Jonathan Walker says, "What about your Trash Panda adventures?"
Oh boy, yeah. So the my brother, that's my brother-in-law. Him and his brothers, my other brother-in-law's there. When they're down in Atlanta, they've got a raccoon skin. It's tanned on the backside, and you can put it down over your hand, and you kind of hold it like this. And if you move your hand, it looks like it's alive. Maybe you saw it. I don't know. They were walking around with it all weekend, but it definitely gets people's attention, right? And when they come over, you kind of take it, and you're like, "Oh yeah, you can pet it." When they get close, you go, and scare them. Well, So I had the thing, and I was standing talking to them, and I'm like, hey, I'm gonna go over and show this to Fat Chuck. Like I'm gonna go get him with it. And so as I'm walking over, I walk in between the transporters of the Yamaha and Chuck's, and here comes Bobby Fong on his scooter, and he comes across, and he's like, hey, whoa, what is that? I'm like, oh, it's my brother-in-law's pet raccoon. And he goes, really? And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, can I pet it? I'm like, yeah. So he gets real close, and I go, ruff. And he about fell off the scooter, and then he comes up, and he goes, you scared the out of me. And I was like, that is great. It was right before the race, and then he won the race. So I'm going to say that Bobby Fong won the Superbike race because the Trash Panda scared the heck out of him before the race.
Well, you're going to have to bring it with you to Barber then.
All right, Jonathan, you heard that. I need that to bring. So
you're going to have to bring it to Barber then, right? Like, yeah, let's go. Yeah, I mean, let's talk about Atlanta real quick. That was a round, first round of Superbike anyway, second round of Super Sport. Mm-hmm. Obviously, after Daytona, which this was the first year of the points introduction for the Super Sport in Daytona. Correct. And it was also the first year of a 3-pit mandatory pit stop too, as well. It was. They made fuel. You were obviously there, part of that too, as well, right? Yeah. So let me ask you this then. With them implementing that 3-pit stop, did that change your guys' strategy or anything?
I'll be honest with you. When it comes to that wasn't necessarily me. And any. The team was doing all of that, right? The team was deciding and this, that, and the other. I was more, and as a suspension guy, it's not like you can make a change during a pit stop. Yeah. There's only so many people over the wall. So you're there back behind as moral support. I know when I was standing in the pits, Dominique came in, and I guess he maybe thought he hit his kill switch or he did, and it didn't flip or something, but they went to start taking the tires off the bike. And I know Freddie from Superbike Unlimited, he was doing a video, or maybe I was doing a video or something. And I think it was actually my video. You hear me in the background going, turn the bike off. Like, cause you obviously can't be fueling while the bike's running.
Right.
So I didn't want them to get in trouble for, the bike being running, because they're concentrating on changing the tires and fueling and making sure he had water, and in the amongst of everything, they didn't even hear it. You know what I mean? But me standing back off to the side, I was like, well, you got to turn that off because you can't get a penalty. So that's, once the race starts, that's what I always say. Like once the race starts, there's not a whole lot I can do.
No.
Unless there's a red flag situation and they come in and say my bike's a bucket of
junk,
and then we can make a change. But
well, hey, let me ask you, what's the craziest thing that a rider said to you about like the front of the or the rear end feel, right? Like, dude, it feels like melting ice cream. You're like, what are you talking about?
Well, oddly enough, you bring this up because I told the rider that said this to me this weekend at Road Atlanta. He stopped me coming down through the paddock there, and we were talking honestly about the logo. But I was like, Dustin Dominguez, and we'll call you out here again. He came in when he was riding. That's a team, RSR, Ronnie Sainer Racing. I was with those guys for a long time. I forgot to throw them in earlier. But Dustin was riding for him, and he came in at Road America one time, and he goes, Brad, it feels like I'm riding a white puffy cloud. Okay, that's a good thing, I guess.
Well, how am I supposed to translate that? What do you mean a white puffy cloud?
White puffy clouds, yeah. So that was probably the wildest, kind of, let me translate this. And that's a funny thing, you got riders that can come in. Tony was real good. I want a quarter round of preload. I want a half a round of preload, half a millimeter of preload, or quarter millimeter of preload. Whereas you have riders that come in and I don't really know. So at that point, you're trying to decipher through, and you start kind of probing into, hey, what's it doing in this corner? What's it doing in this corner? And you can start to gather up what the bike's kind of doing, even though they know it's doing something, they just can't necessarily say what it's doing.
They don't understand the language.
Yeah, the lingo, right?
Yeah,
And all the lingo is different, right? I mean, so learning all of that is key as well.
It is, 110% it is. Because again, if a rider knows what he's talking about, like Tony comes in and say, "Oh, it just needs this and this," you're like, "Well, my job's super easy then." Shoot, you could have come in and I could have just handed you the wrench. You could have been like, "Doop doop, done," right? Yeah. And then you have other riders like you said come in. You're like, okay, we could work with it, right? And then at that point, let's say if the white puffy cloud, right? And then do you go over to the data guy and look at the data and say, "Hey, this is what he's telling me. What does the data show you?"
For sure. I mean, and at that particular time, I don't know that maybe we had data. I don't know. That was years, and that was 12 years ago.
That was back in carbureted days. People,
no,
do you guys
not
remember
carbureted, but we didn't have things that we have today to be able to look at that. It was, and that's one of the things, coming from where I came from to today. And I talked about that regime change there on the Öhlins trailer. As part of that was moto spec and chassis programs that I have to learn. Those guys started learning that, and it was kind of a new thing, and it's just a standard, and it's another tool in the toolbox. And this is my opinion on it, but data is a valuable tool. You still have to listen to the rider and what he's saying, but you can validate or negate what the rider's saying with the data. So it is an important tool, but and this there again, my opinion and how I kind of work is you have to listen to the rider and try to, what I call giving the rider his motorcycle. When he has the motorcycle, and I know the feeling, when the bike's working well, you feel like you can like do anything. I can go faster, I can push harder. But when things are happening that are got you spooked, you don't have your bike, you know what I mean? And finding that bike is huge. So
100%, let me ask you this. I already know the answer, but I'm asking to you anyway. Is there such thing as a perfect setup with motorcycles?
No, absolutely not. It's always a compromise around the track. I mean, if you have a problem in one corner and you go try to fix it, you could mess up another corner. So what I always look at is where can time be gained? Real tight corners, you can't make up a lot of time. Pretty much everybody's got to go through at roughly the same speed. But if I've got a dog leg and I can't hold the thing pinned wide open through the dog leg because I'm having to breathe off the thing, there's time right there. So, I mean, no, there is no perfect setup. There is no magic setup. And it all has to do with the manufacturer as well. I mean, in today and age, there again, wasn't such a thing back in the day, maybe with Superbike, but adjustable linkages or different linkages and adjustable triple clamps, things like that throw variables into chassis setup that you've got to understand. And there again, it's a learning process. A new bike comes out. You have to learn what it is and how to work with it to get it around the track faster.
Yeah. Would you say like every bike's got its own happy sweet spot that it likes to perform in, as far as the geometry setup?
I mean, yeah, there is a good quote base setting usually. And then from there, you're going to critique it to the rider, and what they need the thing to do. But yeah, I mean, that's a true statement. There's usually a good base setup.
Yeah. It's the only reason why I ask these questions, because my buddy, he thinks that he can buy an Öhlins or a shotgun bolted up and he's going to be 2 seconds faster a lap. I'm like, bro, it does not work that way, right?
Well, yeah, I mean, you overstock. Yeah, I could see you're going to gain some time. I mean, it's hard to put a number on the time, but it's just there again. It's going to give you the confidence and the comfort to be able to go to the throttle sooner, to go into the corner maybe a little harder, and that's time,
Jonathan Walker says we can make it happen.
Oh boy. Trash Panda at Barber.
Trash Panda at Bar. I'm
you know,
go
I
ahead.
probably shouldn't say this. I thought we could, make this a Moto America thing, but I don't know if PETA would like it. I don't know how they feel about that.
About Trash Panda, yeah.
Yeah, about a hotted, a tanned raccoon.
Right? You're like, what is this thing? Get it out of my trailer.
I grew up in Georgia, so I mean, it's not uncommon to have coon hats and no shoes on, right? And suspenders with some straw coming out.
I love it.
How we do it down there.
So, Brian's been pointing out some of the stuff, he's done to you as a younger brother, but what are some of the things you've done to Brian as being a younger brother?
I don't really know. By the time I got old enough to probably, quote, do something to aggravate him, he was kind of out of the house. So with that age gap, he had moved on and was in college and doing work and all the things, racing still. And I can't think of anything. Maybe he can come up with something, but I can't think of anything in particular where I got him like he got me.
Right. Oh, I'm sure you probably did or attempted at one time. But you know what I think? I think it's beautiful that we got both brothers back in the paddock in 2026.
Yeah. Brian got called in to do some rider coaching with Sonia Lloyd, and I guess I can throw this out at him. As soon as that first practice got done, I got a text message. Where are you at? He wanted me over there to help, even though that team's got a contracted technician, because he's my brother. He wanted me over there to kind of go through some things and try to sort some things out. And the technician that he's on the trailer with us, and he was actually happy that I was able to spend a little time over there. I have to make sure that I'm distributing my time appropriately. Number one, with my team, they come first, right? That's like bar none whenever they need me or I need to be down there, but everybody else. But yeah, I mean, if you come over and say, hey, can you help me? Can you come down to my pits? And if I have time, for sure, that's what we're there for. That's what they're paying us for. But yeah, I went out and helped Sonia and through working through the weekend, I think we got her, we'd have to ask Brian, but got her quite a bit quicker. I think she might have got a personal best there. But yeah, helping those people, the Shane Maxes, and like I said, anybody that comes over and says, hey, I'm having this issue, can you help me? Well, of course we can, barring that we have the time right then, or maybe we say, hey, I can't right this second, give me an hour, I'll come down to your pits, where you at?
Love it, man. Yes. Speaking to Shane real quick, funny story. When I was at Atlanta, I get a message from his mom on Facebook. She's like, hey, when you see my boy Shane, please give him a hug. I said, I'll have somebody take a picture of me hugging your boy Shane for you. And I sent it to her. Yeah. So yeah. I just had to. I got to throw this out there because it's freaking hilarious. Obviously my boy's there with me. Right. Dude, next thing I know, he runs up to me, Brad, and he goes, Daddy, I need your cell phone. I was like, for what? You have a cell phone. He said, well, I didn't charge the battery, but I need it because I need to take these pictures. And I was like, who are you going to take a picture with? He's like, all these girls want to take a picture. All these girls want to take a picture with me.
Well, of course.
And I said, man, ain't no girls want to take no picture with you, fool. He says, watch this, Daddy. And he takes my cell phone. He gets on his little electric scooter and boom, there he goes. I forget who I was talking to. Next thing I know, here he comes coming around the corner, and he has this shit-eating grin on his face, right? And he's like, Daddy, I'm a legend. And I started laughing. I was like, oh, yeah, let me see this picture. Bam.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, dude, a happy boy. He's a happy boy right there.
Absolutely. Of course.
So, yeah, it was hilarious. And then from there, he charged his phone. Then he started going and taking pictures with Matty Skoltz and Josh Herron and everybody. But another funny thing happened at Atlanta. We were sitting there. It was me and Kevin Rodeo. Big shout out to Gus and Kevin Rodeo. I forget what we was talking about. Matty Skoltz come walking by to use the bathroom right for the superbike rig goes out, right? And Rossi's sitting there. He's like, there's Matty Skoltz, dude. I'm gonna give him a big old fist pound. I was like, okay, you do that. So Maddie comes out. He comes around the corner. Rossi looks at him. He says, "Hey, Maddie, lock it in, baby." But he said the F-bomb. He said, "Lock it up in," right? And I looked at him, dude, and Maddie gives him a big fist, and he starts crying, laughing. I was like, "Bro, what'd you think of my boy?" He's like, "That was the funniest shit I've had, dude, today."
Yeah.
Right? And then after the race, they got a big old picture together. So
yeah, heck yeah.
It's hilarious. Kids are kids are awesome. So I plan on being at Barber. So man, well, I definitely stop by and say hi. Man, this has been, dude, look, we're an hour and 15 minutes into this.
Mm-hmm.
I told you to go by quick, right?
It did.
It always does, but this is not the first time we'll sit down. Me and you'll definitely sit down. Matter of fact, I would love to get you and your brother on at the same time because me and him's got to do a part 2 anyway. Mm-hmm. So I'll just get you both on at the same time. And
oh boy, then the stories start flying, huh?
Man, dude, look, hold on, dude. We got Mama in the house. What's up, Mom? She said, "This is Mom. Learning a lot about you two. Watch it. I brought you into this world, and I can take you out. I love it. Big shout out to Mama out there. I love it.
Thanks, Mom. I know you've always told me that. You've always told me I brought you into this world. I can take you out,
Mom. My mama tells me the same thing too. So listen, bow down to all. Listen, big shout out to all the moms and all the women out there because you girls and women are the ones that, keep us sane and actually run the world, right? So big shout out to each and every single one of you. Listen, I want to transition to the second part of the podcast, Brad, where we get to know you away from, we heard your story about how you got into it, where you are at today, but I want to get rid of all that and hear more of the stories of childhood and all that good stuff. But the first thing I want to ask you, bro, is tell us something that we don't know about you at all.
Some people know, but not a lot. I became an Eagle Scout. I earned my Eagle Scout award in January 1st, 1996, which is most people like, it's not a big deal, or at least in this day and age. But back then it was a big deal, and it taught me a lot of things, a lot of how to be a good human, a lot of how to take care of people in situations. One thing that comes to mind, Hurricane Helene hit up here, obviously, in the Carolinas, or 2 years ago almost now. And when that happened, people stayed inside and some people came out and started working and helping. And through all of that of the Boy Scouts and learning everything that I did, I was one of those people that went out and started trying to help where I could, because luckily my house was undamaged, but there were a lot of places that were not. And I was a able and willing body to do whatever was needed to try to help where I could. Obviously, taking care of my family during that time was hugely important, but also when I could, I spent over a week and actually 2 weeks, volunteering and going down into places and hiking and looking for people and trying to figure out what was going on, because we didn't really know. So, that kind of brought all of that full circle, with that. So.
I think listen, I got a big heart, so I'm just like you, family first. But as soon as I know they're safe, hey, I'm gonna go outside, especially with something like that. Give you the shirt off my back, whatever it is. Hey, you come through, whatever, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I love it. And we got Janelle. What is up? It was an honor to see you at CMP last weekend. Yeah, she's absolutely amazing. She says, "That's right, WNC strong."
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, it was a crazy time, man. You don't know unless you live through it, right? So, 100%. Just doing that and being there for the family, the community, all those things.
Yeah. She says, "Brad is great." Well, what am I? Am I chopped liver? No, I'm just joking. Yes, Brad is he's a legend. Yeah. I like to mess with people. What chopped liver over here? No, I'm just.
Yeah, exactly.
Awesome. I love it. So let me ask you, what's your worst habit?
What's my worst what?
Your worst habit.
My worst habit. The one I want to, I don't even want to go to that. Let's see. I wasn't prepared for that question. I don't really know what my worst habit is. I'd have to think about that.
Mom, Brian, can you chime in? No, I'm just
I
playing.
know what
I'm
they're going to
just
say,
playing.
but yeah,
I'm just playing.
I don't want to. I don't really want to talk about that on camera.
Okay, that's fine. Part of one of my worst habits is sometimes I procrastinate, especially when it comes to laundry. Right, I'm like, I'll get to it. I get to it, and then I got like a week worth of laundry, and I'm like, now I'm forced to do it. Right, so I procrastinate on things that I kind of don't want
Yeah,
to do, but I gotta do. Right, if that makes sense.
I guess my worst habit. I mean, obviously we have our habit, so to speak, but my
Of
worst
course.
is probably not talking to my family enough, not reaching out to my mom and brother. We talk sporadically through, sometimes a week or so goes by, and I should be better about that. I should be better to talk to them more frequently. So I guess if that's a bad habit, so to speak, other than maybe having a beer or such, yeah,
Yeah, listen, anything in moderation is not bad for you. It's not going to kill you, and you're right, dude. So my brother, he lives in Colorado, and he's not he don't text my mom a lot, right? So if I go 3 days without texting my mom says ET phone home, right? And then I
yeah,
oh,
and
what's
see
up, mom, blah 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 blah.
that's
So
where like that's where I need to be better.
yeah,
You know what I mean? I need to
yeah,
just do a little better and
just a
not.
little text message, mom, love you, dad.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, for sure. And
100%.
yeah, just need to try to be better about that.
Yeah. Brian, when I come over, I'm making some Kool-Aid for you, buddy. Yeah, yeah. Just prepare yourself. I
Hey,
love it.
I leave tomorrow to go to his house for the weekend, so maybe I can sneak something into his drink, right?
All right. Yeah. Hey, I made a nightcap, right? Let's enjoy it. Yeah, absolutely, man.
I
So
will.
right there you go. Do you read or listen to any audiobooks? I do.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I
What do
just
you
mainly like Road Racing World and stuff like that.
that's a magazine. That's not a book, Brad. A
Book, yeah.
book.
All right. You busted me. I don't read a lot of books per se.
Yeah. He says, yeah, I read Road Racing World. Yeah, well, me too, but that's not a book, that's a magazine, right? So
It's true.
I I just got done listening to The Art of Racing in the Rain, which is an
Mhm.
amazing movie. Have you seen the movie?
Mhm.
Bro, you gotta
Yeah,
watch the movie, dude. You
yeah.
got to you got dogs or animals,
Oh
obviously.
yeah.
Yeah. So bro, yeah, you got it's an amazing movie. The book is definitely better because it's in more detail, but it's basically this race car driver drives
Mhm.
cars, and he gets this little puppy, and the whole story is based through the perspective of the dog's eyes.
Oh, that's cool. All right.
Oh,
Yeah,
it's
check that out.
absolutely amazing. Yes, yes, yes. So that I highly recommend it. So that's the one I just got done listening to. Recommend it to everybody out
Cool.
there. The next book that I listened to, the one before that was my buddy Steve Parrish, which I had him on my podcast. He's got a book out there which is absolutely hilarious. But as far as motorcycle books, man, one of the best biographies, hands down, is Leathered by John Hopkins. It is absolutely an amazing book. Highly
Right.
recommend it. I've said it 5 billion times on this podcast. It is
Right.
such a great. So it's to me, it's like because I drive it. Obviously, I drive to all these races.
Hmm.
I'm fortunate because where I'm at in Roanoke, it's 6 hours to Atlanta, 6 hours to Mid Ohio, 6 hours to
Yeah.
Jersey, 7 hours to Barber, 10 hours to Daytona. So I'm in a good, like,
Area.
happy area, right? So
Hmm.
6 hours, I'm like, shoot, dude, I'll throw in this audio book and start it and finish it on the way home, right? That's 12 hours. That's
Right.
basically what most books are. So yeah, I enjoy doing that on the road. Sometimes when I'm driving, I just cut everything off and just listen to the earth speak to me and the wind and the cars and the birds and just
Yeah.
enjoy being out of here.
Yes. Absolutely.
Because I struggle with this, right? We all do. It's hard to turn this off, right? But I find that when I'm really into something like motorcycle racing, doing these podcasts, seeing all my friends there at the racetrack, it's like nothing's
Right.
going on in here but what I want it to go on in here, right?
Right.
It's like I had a conversation with a guy. His kids got ADHD. My son does too. And dude, this is so we go to school and the teacher's talking about. I haven't been asked to come back to a student teacher thing anymore because of this. But I wasn't rude or mean, and they're sitting there talking all this about, ADHD, and the kids can't concentrate. And I let everybody talk and blah blah blah. And finally, when it was my turn, I was like, "Look, I hear what you're saying, but this is really how it is. This is how I see it. I see it as." You say the kids can't concentrate. I call BS. Put a PlayStation, Xbox, or something they enjoy in front of them. They're 8-9 hours just hyper focused on that one thing. The issue is school's not any fun. But the problem is you guys come up with this little magical, what you call, pill that they have to have in order for them to concentrate. But all you're doing is teaching them bad habits that without this pill, they're not going to be no good. They're not going to be able to concentrate. Need I go on? I said, so the moral of my story is the school system's failing the kids. It's not the kids. It's you guys.
Yeah.
And they were like, get out, basically. So yeah, that's my whole.
Yeah.
You're talking too much truth. We can't handle it. Get out. Right? Yeah. But. Yeah. Anyway, that was just a little tangent. Podcast. Do you listen to any podcasts at all?
I don't. No. I don't.
Boo.
Yeah, I know. I'm going to have to.
Dude, that was your cue to say, of course, I listen to
Of course, I listen to Pin the Gas podcast.
Yeah. You failed.
So,
Big F.
With work and then home, and by the time I'm done, it's 9:30 and it's time for bed. I mean,
Hey.
What I need to do is start listening to that when I'm driving to the track or whatever, right? So
yeah. It's funny, Brad, because we as you said earlier, we grow up, right? I call bullshit, right? We do, but we're still young and have fun. But when you get when you finally have a family and you have your first mini-me, whether it's a boy or a girl, right? It's like before that time stamp in my life, at least from personal experience, it's like I had all the time in the world. I could do anything. I'm like, I got 6 hours when I get off work. I can do this. I can do that.
Yeah, for sure.
Once I have my kid, it's like I have no time to do nothing at all, right? Yeah. And and time goes by twice as fast now.
Yes.
And it's such a thief. Time's such a thief. It really is, So yeah, I enjoy your family, people. 110%. Are you into spicy food?
Yeah, not too spicy, but yeah, I like spicy food.
A little Tabasco sauce.
Oh yeah. Crystal sauce. I don't know if you're familiar with that.
I'm familiar with Crystal, Louisiana Crystal.
It's good stuff.
It's all right. My go-to hot sauce, like if I just take one with me, it would be Chihuahua. I like Chihuahua.
Okay.
But I like hot stuff. I just bought I can't say, it starts with an E. It's some Mexican, but I got the hottest. I said, what's the hottest hot sauce you got? He said, it's this. I said, let me get it. It's pretty good. It's spicy. I like, so the hot ones on YouTube. You ever watch that?
No.
Okay, so Brad, the hot ones on YouTube, it's great. So this guy does the interviews with celebrities, right? But he's got 10 chicken wings from Louisiana hot sauce to like 4 million Scoville, and he does the interview as it gets hotter and hotter and hotter. So the last bottle is called The Last Dab. So I got a couple bottles of that. It's good. It's really hot, but that's the type of level of heat that I don't like it all the time. But when I'm in those moods, I like to cry and hurt, right?
No, I don't like that.
Yeah, man. It's when you feel the most alive, man. What are you talking about? So let me ask you this, Brad. What's on your personal bucket list?
Oh, my personal bucket list. There's probably a lot of things. There again, I wasn't prepared for that. I've done a lot of things. So, some of my bucket list stuff, just because it happened here recently, I want to go to the Masters, the golf tournament, things like that. I've always wanted to go to Australia, just check that out. So
down under, let's go.
A couple of bucket list things there. Yeah.
Mine is, everybody knows what I'm going to say, the Isle of Man TT. Baby.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, like Isle of Man, that would be awesome.
Oh, it's to me, it's the most beautiful thing I've ever seen in my entire life. To me, this road racing, period. To me, this is where it goes. It goes, the best of the best is the Isle of Man TT, and then it's BSB, and it's everything else below that.
Right. Yeah, those guys are crazy for sure.
Which ones?
The Alaman.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, you know, it's funny, Brad, because we often use the term alien amongst Mark Marquez, Valentino Rossi, Jorge Lorenzo, Mick Doohan, Kevin Schwantz, Eddie Lawson, right? I mean, the list keeps going on. Freddie Spencer, blah 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 blah. To me, the true aliens of the sport are all the men and women that do the Alaman TT, the Macau, the Northwest 200, the Southern 100, the Mannix GP. I mean, the list goes on, right? It's like the people that do the TT in the real road racing, they can go to short circuits and be fast on short circuits, right? But you take people from short circuits and take them out there and they see the TT, they're like, absolutely not, right?
Yeah.
So to me, those are the true aliens
for
amongst
sure.
this planet that walk, that ride the beautiful things of two wheels, right?
Right.
It's the most beautiful thing ever. That's all I can say. I get a smile on my face every time I think of the TT, bro. It's like, let's go. Don't get me wrong. I love Moto America because it's the best, dude. It really is. But it don't hold a candlelight to the TT. Nothing does. Not even MotoGP. Nothing. I put it to you this way: if you said you can go any race in the world, and you can go to MotoGP and Mugello, Phillip Island, wherever you want to go, I'm going to the Alaman TT. It's not even a question, hands down. So, yeah, man. What sports did you play? Did you watch like football or basketball or baseball, football or anything right now?
I did those as a kid, rec stuff. But as a teenager, I ran track, but I inline skated and skateboarded and bicycles. That was kind of my thing.
Do you watch football now or basketball or any of that?
I do. College football. I love college football and any sport. Baseball. My sons play basketball, golf, all those things.
The only ball sport that I watch, I watch road racing like constantly, right? But if I watch anything ball related, it's soccer. I'm a huge soccer fan.
I got you.
And I get made fun of a lot. People, don't get me wrong. People make fun of me. They're like, "Oh, Simcoe, you're a wussy. You like soccer? That's for gay people." And blah blah blah. I'm like, dude, soccer. I love soccer. Soccer's a great sport, right?
Hey, that's all right. That's all right.
And hockey. So a buddy of mine got me into hockey. I got invited by Allstate Insurance Company, believe it or not, when like 2 years ago, because of the podcast, they reached out to me here locally and invited me to a VIP to our local hockey game. And bro, that was absolutely like I'm right there with my hands on the glass, and they're just, bro, yeah, absolutely amazing.
Yeah, good stuff.
I do like golf. I like to play golf.
Yeah.
Tiger Woods golf on the PlayStation, people, right? Real life, it is fun. Don't get me wrong, but I suck, right? But it is a lot of fun. Me, you, Brad, Brian, we get up, go have play golf with it. It's fun, right? But it's,
right.
It's absolutely. Do you have any tattoos?
I do.
You plan on getting any more?
Maybe. I've had them for a long time. Haven't got one in a long time, but yeah.
I want to get me another. My most recent one is my dog Cruz passed away about 2 years ago. He was only 6 years old, so it happened within like a week. It was pretty sudden, unexpectedly, right? So I went down there and got my man tattooed on my arm. So
there you go.
But I do plan on getting some. I want to get my son's name tattooed on me.
There you go.
I've been talking about that since he's 13 now. So I just need to go do it, right?
Right.
I just need to go do it. Dude, let me ask you this, dude. I love this question, dude. What's the one superpower you wish you had, Brad?
Able to see the future.
What fun is that?
The ability to see the future? Oh, that'd be cool.
Yeah, it would be
I don't know.
No, it would be cool. You're right.
Yeah,
future. That'd be cool.
See maybe the ability to change the past. I don't know.
It would be cool because if you can see the future, then you can see what the winning lotto numbers are, and you constantly win the lotto all the time. Or you just be like, I can only win it once. So, bro, happy birthday! Here's the winning lotto ticket. Just pick these numbers and you win, right? If I had one superpower, and I thought about this, it used to be flying because I'm a huge fan of Superman growing up, right?
Right.
I changed it to teleportation. I would love to be able to teleport, right? Because then I could be like, Brad, I'll meet you in the Öhlins building in 2 seconds. Boom. Then we're there. And then, okay, I'm going home.
Sure.
Boom. Or, hey, you want to go to Australia? Hold my hand. We'll be in Australia. Boom. There it is.
Yeah,
we'll
that'd
be
be nice.
right. Be right. And then come home and sleep every night in your own bed. So yeah, that's what I would do. Let me ask you this. What's the one thing you cannot live without and you cannot sell your cell phone? Because that's what everybody wants to say. Oh, it's my cell phone.
This will probably sound funny, but it's my pillow. It's the only way I get a good night's sleep, and I get crap because of it, because I take it to the track with me. It's in my luggage. I roll my pillow up, and I've got to have my pillow. Otherwise, I don't sleep good, and I am grumpy the next day.
I love it, dude. It's funny you said that, because I take my pillow everywhere I go, and I have this. My fan. Dude, my fan right here and my pillow. I remember when we went to, I always grew up with a fan, right? It's one of those things I gotta have. I don't care if it's 30 degrees outside. My fan is on high.
Nice, right? Noise.
I got 50 blankets on me, whatever. Cool. I've got to have my fan.
Yeah.
So when I went to, my dad's parents lived in Jersey. They're both not here with us anymore. But we go to Jersey. They used to have this big box fan, because the first time I went there, I said, I can't sleep. I got to have a fan. Grandpa was like, he got grumpy. He's like, go across the street, go get your fan, blah, 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 blah. Right? I called the neighbor already, go get your fan. So we went, got the fan, brought it back, and I said, Dad, I'm just going to go buy a fan, right? So I started buying all these fans, and we was at Jersey 2 years ago. My fan took a shit on me, right? And I was mad. I was like, I can't sleep. I can't sleep without my fan. So there's a Target right there next to the hotel we stay at in Jersey. So I just drove to Target and bought that little fan, and I take it with me, that and my pillow.
There
right?
you go.
Gotta have my pillow, gotta have my fan. 110%. Are you currently watching anything on TV you can recommend to anybody, you and your wife?
We just got done watching Extracted. Yeah, I haven't found anything else. I've been watching actually some of the hockey stuff here the past couple of days, but yeah.
See, me and my son just got done watching One Piece, which is based on a cartoon, but they have a human version of it. I'll say on Netflix. It's really good. It's actually, my wife even likes it. And then I'm a big Star Wars nerd. Okay, I freaking love Star Wars, Brad.
Hey, Chris. Hey, I'm sorry to interrupt you, man. I got to run to the restroom real quick.
Oh, yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
Sorry, I got one right here. Sorry,
no, you're good. Dude, you're good. You're good, bro. That's hilarious. Dude, you're okay. That's funny, because honestly, people, I got to use the restroom too, right? But I'm going to hold it just for a little bit longer. But yeah, listen, I appreciate each and every single one of you coming in, watching this podcast with us today. Again, I had Brian on, his brother, absolute legend of the sport, race back in the day. If you guys missed that, please go back and check it out. Absolutely amazing. I plan on being at Barber here coming up in a couple of weeks, which is actually going to be my birthday weekend. Barber is 15th to the 17th. My birthday is on the 18th. So yeah, it's going to be a birthday weekend for me. And then that following weekend, when I get back from Barber, if they would still want me to come out, I'm going out there with Azra and doing some more commentating at Summit Memorial Day weekend. So I hope to see Janelle. I hope to see you out there too as well.
All right.
It'll be sorry about that. No, dude, you're good,
Chris. I thought I could make it till the end. I went for I started, and yeah,
you're good. Well,
that's much better now. Trust me.
Believe me, I get it, dude, because it's funny. As soon as you walked off, I said, you know what, honestly, I got to go too, but we're not going to be on here very much longer, so I'll be able to go.
Well, I was trying to make it till the end.
No, you're good, bro.
I got to.
Dude, listen, the longest podcast I ever did was with Cole King. We sat down for him was 4 hours.
Holy cow.
Yeah, but it went by. I mean, dude, we're an hour and 40 minutes into this, right? And it don't even seem like it. So, yeah, 4 hours. It seems like a long time, but when you're having such a proper mega really good time and everything's flowing, it's like time just. Yeah. It's like we're at the track, right? You show up Wednesday, Thursday. You're like, okay, this weekend. I hope it's not long. You blink. Next thing you know, it's like, man, I missed the weekend. Where'd it go? Right?
Yeah, exactly.
So, yeah, man, absolutely. Well. Listen, man, this has been a lot of fun. I'm going to ask you one more question. Okay, I'll save the rest of them for our part two. Listen, money's no object. for Brad Stokes? You have your own Moto America team. Let's say Super Sport. Brad, you have your own Super Sport team in Moto America. What is the manufacturer of motorcycle you would have? Obviously, I know the suspension you're going to put on it. What's the manufacturer that you would have, and who are the 2 current riders in Moto America paddock you would put on those bikes? It could be from any class.
Really? Well,
again, he said I wasn't prepared for this.
Yeah, I wasn't. Obviously Ducatis are strong, but I would still call it a super sport team. I think I would have to go with the Yamaha, and not because I'm working with him this year, but Dominique would obviously be one of my riders. And then currently, there's a lot of great riders in the paddock, right? And from Josh Hayes, Blake Davis, Josh Heron. I'll stay with the South African theme. I really like Maddie, and we've had some great times together. And I would have Maddie on the second bike, Maddie Stoltz on the second bike, and Dominique on So I guess that'd be my 2 riders, and we would run K-Tech suspension.
I'm not editing that out neither.
Right? I'm kidding, Bert. I was just joking when he said, "I know what suspension you'll be running."
Yeah, I know. It's hilarious. Oh, I love it, dude. Well, I mean, we're all friends, right?
Exactly. I love Bert. He's a great dude for sure.
I do too.
And all the guys over there, they're great people too. Just because they work for a different company.
Yeah, I mean, it's. I've had Bert's on the podcast, and I've had Gil on the podcast too as well. Dakari keeps telling me hell no, right? But one day I'll sit down and then
Kendall, breakthrough.
Yeah, he'll do a breakthrough, and then me and Kendall get to sit down too as well. And like I said, I got Megan. Me and her need to schedule ours, and I would love to get all your people at Öhlins on too as well. We'll have to write all that up. Well, matter of fact, when I come, you'll just have to introduce me to everybody, and I'll take care of the rest for sure. Well, listen. Brad, it's been an absolute honor to have you on. I'm going to let you end the podcast by giving all your shout outs. But first, I got to give my shout outs. First thing I want to say, as I always say this, and I truly mean this to everybody. Listen, if it wasn't for Brad, if it wasn't for everybody commenting, if it wasn't for everybody watching this podcast, all the likes and subscribes, I would not be sitting in this seat right now. So it's nothing but love to each and every single one of you. And I mean that. If it wasn't for you, I wouldn't be here. And that's the God's honest truth. So thank you so much. Big shout out to Scott and my dude with Kabuto helmets, man. I did a thing with Kabuto helmets at Atlanta. Super pumped and happy. So big shout out to Kabuto helmets. They're absolutely amazing. I just got to talk about them real quick. So this is my first experience with them, obviously. But two of the features that I really love about this helmet is one is the MIPS is actually made into the liner of the helmet, right? It's not actually in the shell, it's actually in the liner. And one of the coolest features on it too as well is the emergency cheek pad pullouts on helmets. Well, this thing, you actually zip it open and you pull the cheek pads out so the whole thing's collapsed on the inside, and then you can pull the helmet off. Because if you have a rider down and you're going to pull the emergency cheek pad, you're going to tweak the head left or right or up and down, right, when you're pulling it out. So they have an ingenious patented design. And dude, I mean, look at this helmet. It is
it's beautiful.
Beautiful helmet, right? So people, get a Kabuto helmet, reach out to me, get in touch with me, and I'll definitely take care of you 110%. Big shout out to AGV Sports Group, Kamani, another one of my sponsors. I tell everybody like this, Brad, it is 2026. Love yourself, treat yourself to that full custom suit, that off the rack suit. Guess what? It's not fitting you 100% correctly. When you have a suit that don't fit you 100% correctly, it hinders your body movement. It could be too loose back here, and when you're doing mock bejesus down the front straightaway, it's like a parachute, and it starts to float, right? It's not fun, right? So listen, do yourself a favor, get yourself a full custom suit. Hit me up. We are AAA certified. We can integrate the airbag, full custom, your colors, your style, retail $15,900. $1,600. AAA certified. Can be 100%. Of course, I got to give my man Dakari and all them big shout out to K-Tech Suspension. Of course, big shout out to Öhlins too as well. SFL meaning GP. Listen, people, if you're ever interested in riding, getting your kid, your son, your daughter on a motorcycle, you're in South Florida, you're in Jersey, sflminigp.com. Trust me, all you do is sign up and register. You just show up. They provide the helmets, the boots, the gloves, the leathers, the bikes, everything, the coaching. Just show up. That's all you got to do, register. That's where a lot of our future legends of the sport's coming out of, right? I mean, the list goes on. You can go Gus Rodeo, Mazziato, Brandon Posh, Isaac Woodworth. I mean, it keeps going. Ella Dreyer, Avery Dreyer, yada, yada, yada. I got two friends in the industry that make the most amazing undersuits. And yes, there is a difference, people, between a proper motorcycle undersuit versus your Under Armour and your Nike undersuit. First one is my man 64 Degree Racing from Tate over here. He sends me one custom suit every year, and I love their suits. They're absolutely amazing. The second one is from Mama Aliki at venomsport.com. Absolutely amazing. She sent me actually 2 custom t-shirts, and they're, dude, by far my favorite shirts in the world. Big shout out to Racer 411 program out there for all my CVMA and CRA racers out there in California. Sign up. For all my UK buddies out there in the UK, you guys and girls can go to clothingkings.co.uk and order all your Pin to Gas podcast merch out there in the UK. Big shout out to, I got 3 friends that also make custom decals and graphics in the industry, right? This all goes along with people hear me talking about, 2 of my friends making the same products. Listen, support the people that support you in the industry. Right. It's very important, because if we do not support the people that support us, guess what? There's not going to be no more industry. Nope. So support the people that support you, right? So I got 3 friends, again, that make custom graphics, whether you want your helmet wrapped, your bike wrapped, your dog wrapped, your wife wrapped, whatever the case may be, right? You're not going to go wrong by ordering from either one of them. First one is my man Gus Rodeo from GRG Designs. Many of you know who Gus Rodeo is. He's an absolute legend on 2 wheels too as well. Second one is my man Chris Grizel from Drippin' Wet. Everybody knows who Drippin' Wet is. And the third is my buddy Reese Brody from REB Graphics. Again, you're not going to go wrong by ordering from any one of these people. So again, keep it in the industry. One last thing before I leave the microphone to you, Brad, is again, big shout out to everybody in the beautiful circus. Big shout out to all the corner marshal workers, because if it wasn't for everybody playing their particular role, all those important puzzle pieces I talk about all the time, we would not have the beautiful circus we have. So it's nothing but love to each and every single one of you, because thank you. That's why, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
All right, Brad.
I want to thank you for having me on. And my mom, my brother, my dad, and they've always been there behind me the whole time. And the team here at Öhlins always supporting me and all of that. And of course, the Lord leading me where I need to be. So that's my big shout outs. And, all the people out there that over the years have trusted me with their suspension. I appreciate that. And those people that come up and tell me thank you. It means a lot and keeps me going. So, and like you said, the corner workers and all the people at the track that make the circus go on. So yeah, that's my big shout out.
Yeah, man, dude, listen, it's true too, and it's funny because at Atlanta, I had these guys come up to me like, dude, how do we get the quarter marshal gig? Listen, if anybody's interested in being a quarter marshal, please reach out to me. I'll put you in direct contact with David Hotley, which does the whole, he's the leader of the whole beautiful circus when it comes to that. And we'll get you out there on the grid. It's the best spots in the house. I'm friends with, actually, usually, especially when I go to club races, bro, at nighttime, that's who I hang out with. It's the corner marshal workers, right? Out there in the corner. We're out there in the dark tent somewhere in the corner just laughing it up, talking trash. People, that's what we do, right? You know the game, right? Yeah,
for sure.
110%. But yes, so Brad, this episode will be out. Just give me about 40 minutes. It'll be on Spotify, iHeart. I'll send you the direct links and all that. And I will see you at Barber, my friend. Just down with me real quick when I end this podcast. And ladies and gentlemen, it's been an absolute honor to sit down with my friend, Brad Stokes, man. Thank you so much for coming on. You're welcome. And on that note, we are out of here. We will see you guys soon. Just hang on for me 1 second.
Calling all two-wheel enthusiasts, get ready to rev up your earbuds with Pin the Gas Podcast, the ultimate motorcycle racing podcast, hosted by Chris Simcoe, one of our very own excellent leaders here in Roanoke, Virginia. With expert analysis, behind-the-scenes stories, and exclusive writer interviews, Pin the Gas podcast delivers the adrenaline rush of the racetrack straight to your ears. Whether you're a diehard fan or a curious newcomer, you'll gain insights that will transform how you watch and understand motorcycle racing. On your favorite podcast app, join Simcoe as he takes you on a high-speed journey through the world of motorcycle racing. Pin the Gas podcast.